today we're going to create an S3 connector. For that, we're opening our flow, and then we're going to the Data Integrations tab. And here we select an integration. In our case, this is the S3 integration. If you cannot find it immediately, you can also search it. After we clicked on it, we can go to Setup Instructions. But since we're pro, we don't need them, and we're just starting right away. I will just type in some random name for my connector, but you please choose something that you can, again, find out what exactly you did here. You can add some versioning or maybe a timestamp on when you created the connection. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the name of our beautiful S3 bucket, which is here. If you don't know how to find your S3 buckets on AWS, you can just go to the search bar and type in S3. I already started, so I have it here and connects it very fast. But we're just going to select this one. You don't have to change anything in the permissions because we're working with an access key in a second. And then I'm adding here the bucket name. Very important. I also need to specify the region. In my case, it's EU Central 1, but depending on where you are, you need to type in this code here. Perfect. And now we need to create an AWS access key ID and also a secret access key ID. For that, we first need to create a user. I already prepared the tab here, and this is our test user. If you want to create a test user or any other user, you're clicking on your account name and then going to security credentials, and then here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click on add permissions, and in this case we're creating an inline policy. I will post this one as a comment, but this is approximately how it will look like. We basically first need to allow a listing of S3 buckets and then also getting the bucket location, like EU Central, for example. And here we need to list the resource that this applies to. So in our case, this will be our S3 buckets, and here we just add the name. And then we also need to be able to get an S3 object also from this bucket, and then we're adding here a / a star. I have to add it here. Now I clicked on create access key. It does not really matter what we select here, but here you will see best practices, and then can select for what you're using it. I'm again typing in something random here, but you please choose something that you can recognize this access key again. And then we're getting these two properties here. So I'm copying the access key, pasting it here, and then I'm copying the secret access key and pasting it here. Now the last step is I need to define what data I actually want to sync. I can select specific folders or specific file patterns. But very important, I have to mark download the actual files, otherwise I will just download the schema of my S3 bucket. And here I can also limit the downloads that I'm going to make. For me, it doesn't really matter because I just have one file in there, so I just click on create connection. Now if I want to edit this again, I can click on edit or anywhere on this beautiful card. And as you can see, I won't be able to see the AWS access key or the AWS secret access key, but obviously you can still change it anytime, just not copy it again. Now I'm clicking here on data synchronization to see if my import was successful or see any error messages, why maybe it failed, so that I can change the configuration if I did a mistake. But in this case it worked, so we're going to the file manager. And then here you will see two files. One is just some metadata that got created, and this is the actual file that we downloaded. And now you can continue with the file in this tool.